Welcome. Here we are being given the equation of an ellipse. Now let's discuss how to graph it. The first thing that we should always do is try to match it to the standard form of the equation of an ellipse. Let's look at it one term at a time. When I take a look at the first term that we are being given, it's almost matching the standard form of the equation of an ellipse. We have x minus some number raised to the second. So let me just rewrite that. When at the denominator, I have the value of 49, I need to write it as some number raised to the second. But notice that 49, it can be written as 7 raised to the second. So let me rewrite the denominator. Now let's move to the next term. When I look at the second term that we are being given, and I'm trying to match it to the standard form of the ellipse, the numerator, it looks identical. Y minus some number raised to the second. So let me just rewrite that. But when I take a look at the denominator, I need to write it as some number raised to the second. So when I take a look at the value of 4, notice that we can write it as 2 to the second. So let me just rewrite the denominator as 2 raised to the second. And the right hand side, it is equals to 1. So we are good. Now that we have rewritten our equation in standard form, now let's try to identify the information that is needed for us to graph our ellipse. First, we need to identify the center of the ellipse. Then, we need to identify the length of half of the major axis. And then, we need to identify half the length of the minor axis. When it comes to the center, we use the parameter of h and k, where h is the value that we are subtracting in x, which in this case is 3, and k is the value that we are subtracting in y, which in this case, it is 9. So we have our center at 3, 9. Now, when it comes to the length of a and b, we want to take a look at the denominators of each of those terms. Now, how can you determine who is a and who is b? Well, always the value of a will be greater than the value of b. And when I take a look at the both values that we have on our denominator, I think we can all agree that 7 is the greater between them two. So that's going to represent our parameter of a. And b is the lowest. So that's going to represent the parameter of b. So now let's put all this information in our graph. Let's start by placing our center. So I'm going to say that 3, 9, it's somewhere around here. Now remember that a represents half the major axis, but notice where a is located at. It is located as the denominator of the variable of x. So we are saying that the major axis will be horizontally. So we are saying that from the center, if we go 7 units to the right, which I'm going to say it's somewhere around here, I'm going to get one endpoint of the major axis, which is going to be at the location of 10, 9. We are at 3, and if I move 7 units to the right, I end up at 10, and the same on the other direction. From the center, I go 7 units to the left, which I'm going to say that is somewhere around here. I'm going to get the other endpoint of the major axis, which is going to be at the location of -4, 9. If I'm at 3 and I move 7 units to the left, 7 minus 3, that is equals to -4. And remembering that b represents half the length of the minor axis, notice that b, it's underneath the variable of y. So we are saying that the minor axis is going to be vertically. So from the center, if we go 2 units up, I'm going to get one of the endpoints of the minor axis, which is going to be at the location of 3, 11. 9, add 2 to it, you get 11 on y. And the other way around, from the center, if we go 2 units down, I'm going to get the other endpoint of the minor axis, which is going to be at the location of 3, 7. Now we can draw the ellipse that was represented by the equation on the left. Hello. If you would like to continue learning about mathematics, you can check out the videos on the left.